Hey, Melissa.
Hey.
This is Cheryl Pruitt. I'm in Dallas and I am in leadership with the Higher View. And we are talking today with the founder and president of the Higher View. We're reminiscing a little bit about 2020. Is reminiscing always good? Because, that may not be the right word.
It's good until you tag 2020 onto it.
Oh, so true. It was a great year for me. It really was a great year for me. So anyway, we got started last year during the pandemic, right? 2 weeks after the country shut down. And here we are talking about what we're going to be doing in 2021. And so we've talked a little bit about the Leadership Institute, and I know that kicks off with the pillars of leadership. Mm-hmm. That's the first part of that 12-month program. So why don't you give us another little bit of a lead in to the Leadership Institute, and then tell us a little bit about what we can expect when it starts.
Okay, great. So our pillars for leadership, I have the acronym PRO-GRIT. Like, you're going to become a pro at leading with grit. And we're going to dive into that. Acronym stands for protective leadership, and from a woman's standpoint, right? And resilient leadership, optimistic leadership. And then we're going to do a deep dive into grit and what grit is and how grit actually separates, if you will, the wheat from the chaff, and the wheat from the tares. Really, it makes all the difference in leadership. And so that's our pillars that we start building this whole program from. And you'll see those points, you'll see those pillars throughout the program. And so by the time you are done with the program, protective leadership, resilient leadership, optimistic leadership. I always say, I want to be a hope dealer, right? You can get the dope dealer down the street, but right here's the hope dealer. And then grit. Yeah. So that's, those are our pillars that the Holy Spirit has downloaded.
That's so true. And teaching it from a woman's perspective, because those are some terms that would conjure up the masculine and the Navy SEAL. And, inside, that is really what we are, but outside, we don't always portray that as women. And so I really appreciate that this course and leadership development that you have put together, or that we put together as the leadership team, really does play into the feminine capabilities that we have and what we bring to the table.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, I know that once the Leadership Institute is rolled out, which we were talking about that earlier, we talked about that's in April. Do you want to talk any more about just the timeline on this and then going forward?
Oh my gosh, Cheryl, we've got so much. So yes, we're going to roll out to the Higher View private group, our Leadership Institute. And then actually very shortly after that, we are going to roll out what's called the 12 by 12 program, which is another program that's built off of that actually will invite women in that feel called to disciple or mentor people. And they have, it's actually, there's a financial aspect, a very lucrative financial aspect to that program. As if you're doing the work of discipleship, right, then a workman is worth his hire. And so there's definitely a financial aspect to that. And then from there also, we are going to be offering a certification program in leadership and principle-based leadership. And this all ties together.
There's more.
I know there's more. And then helping women actually become coaches and mentors. So if they want to do a side gig on that, that's totally fine. If they want to do it full time, they can do it full time. But to actually become financially independent in what really women do naturally all the time. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we always mentor and disciple each other, right? When it's, we're the ones that are bringing our neighbor and our sister and our friends to church. right? And when they have questions and they're coming to us or they're calling us at 2 o'clock in the morning, we will talk about boundaries. But, we're the ones, the women are the ones that are doing that, that are nurturing those relationships and without even thinking about it. And we're actually putting together a program that's intentional and structured and that will be a financial blessing.
That's great. That's really great. Yeah. The women do the lion's share of the work in the church. And I love some of the comments that you've made about a lot of times the money goes to just a few in the church for the work that is done. And certainly we do want to volunteer and we want to be servants, but would that be the way maybe that the Lord would want that to be, if we could look at that a little bit differently and bring in that female perspective to it, which is what we're doing. So we're going to start this in April. We're going to be talking about it in the weeks to come. We're going to bring you some of these short videos, short informational announcements so you can begin to get excited about it. I hope you can see how excited Melissa and I are. I can promise you that the leadership are all so excited. We are ready to share this with you. We've been sitting on it for a while, and so we're really excited to share that with you. Well, Melissa, thanks for your time this afternoon, and we will certainly continue the discussion.
Sounds good. Thanks so much.